It was about 5 minutes ago.
You guys can also email us at our new email, ckipodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, I think that's it. Right?
No, today we have a special guest on the show. My cuz, which is my wife's cuz. His name is Louis the Blonde.
Hello, everybody.
How are you doing, Louis?
I'm doing great. Hello, guys. How you doing?
Doing wonderful.
Welcome to Casually Kicking It.
Thank you.
So, Louis, we noticed, I wanted to talk to you because you wanted to come on the show. We wanted to see, we saw a lot of things that you're doing, and we were liking the videos you're posting and what you stand for, which is the the Blonde brand. So, if you could explain on that and tell us what's about it, whoever hasn't, seen you on the videos.
Well, I started the videos overall because I was trying to spread the message of self-love. The brand started because I came from a dark place where I didn't love myself, like not a cell in my body was I happy with, until I went to that dark place and I realized all the good that was around me, and it led me to start a brand where you see this heart and you're going to think to love yourself. The way you see big brands and they stand for certain things, that heart is going to be a little reminder, I love myself today.
So, question, going back to what you were saying with the dark place, is that what basically birthed the whole brand and all that stuff? And
I think that I've been in fashion for over 10 years.
Okay.
And I've been in the game, dealing with brands and people and learning a lot, but I never really had my thing.
Okay.
So when I came out of this dark place and I started kind of putting things on the table, like what do I like to do, what do I want to do, what am I going to do, I started to love myself. And the best feeling in the world is kind of like, how can I put it? You go on a diet, you're like, oh, I feel so good, I lost 5 pounds. Oh, you got to try this diet. You want people to feel as good as you.
Yeah, I can see
So it came from a place similar to that where I'm like, damn, if I can love myself and all of this, then you can love yourself with all of that. And regardless of whatever, you have the opportunity to maybe eventually love yourself. But to see that is huge. People go their whole lives without looking in the mirror, like really looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is, I guess, that chance or that reminder.
Yeah. No, I think that's great, man. There are a lot of people that are in that place that we might not even know. As you can see, we use celebrities as an example, taking their lives, right? I mean, and people don't know.
People don't talk about
You
it.
always think that because they have everything.
I think
Technically,
What'd you shake your head for, Tom?
no, I'm just saying technically they don't have everything. They have everything physically or materialistically, but emotionally they're not there, and that's why it's missing. And that's where Louis mostly coming across is that no matter how dark or how deep things get, you can still love yourself because it starts with you, and that's how you can spread it to other people. And I think that's kind of a message that you're getting across too, right, Louis?
Yeah, that's definitely the main message. I've kind of come across several, specifically men in my life recently who have been going through a lot of stuff and have been broken. And it's a word that I feel like isn't used a lot to describe men. You know what I mean? It's strong and, oh, he'll be okay. And, oh, they broke up. He'll be fine. Or he's back. A lot of times the focus is the girl and she's crying, she's upset, or the guy or whatever. But the guy in the main focus doesn't. A lot of times people don't. Are you okay? We don't ask those questions, or the people. It's just not talked about. So people go on with these relationships, or they go on in these situations where they continue to feel bad about themselves, but they don't address it. I saw a meme and it was like a guy flexing in the mirror and he was ripped, and the little caption was like, "Yep, still dead inside."
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah, it's tough because you can look great on the outside, but you click that camera off and you still hate yourself.
It's similar to like the joke that a lot of people use, the joke, of the guy making up for something with the vehicle, the car.
Oh yeah.
That's another form.
Compensated.
Pretty much
Compensating.
Yeah,
for...
he's buying love. He's buying emotions by giving instead of money. I mean, instead of giving the emotion out, he's paying for it. So that's kind of like artificial love to me. I think it's like it's the cheap way out instead of showing the real deal that you are a part of and that you can explain it. I mean, you can share it with other people and they'll start loving them. So it's kind of like a chain reaction. Once you get that going, it's sky's the limit, bro.
But to me, it starts when you're young, because when as you're growing up, you're not really taught to love yourself.
Right.
You know, you're most, and then as you get older as a kid, and you get older, and you start, there's a girl that likes you, and you start doing the whole "do you like me" card, yes or no type deal.
Yeah.
It all starts from that point, because you're not grown to taught yourself or being taught to love yourself as who you are. You know, once you get that first rejection, that creates.
So just
It creates
avalanche.
everything. Yeah,
That's an avalanche.
it creates everything. So the more, you know, you may have that one person, you know, you may have more likes, but when you get that one rejection, you start questioning, why did I get rejected?
exactly.
You know, and that kind of creates another form of, you know, overthinking or negativity against yourself.
Your self-esteem went
Yeah,
down.
it's that's part of it. Self-esteem,
Yeah.
you're right. So that also creates that, you know, and then you live with that throughout your whole life because, like, you know, Louis was saying, you get into relationships with one person and then you break up with that person. Whatever reason that relationship ended, that creates another part of your self-esteem being bugged.
Another insecurity.
Yeah.
But you know what? On that note, Matt, is like when you break up for that reason, and then you go into that new relationship with that something, that reason lurks into that one.
Yes.
And that's what sucks.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like what an Etch-a-Sketch. I wish it was. It's an Etch-a-Sketch, like you just shake it,
Yeah.
and it's a whole brand new
Start over.
Yep, blank slate.
Yeah.
But it's not an Etch-a-Sketch. It's scars.
Yeah.
And every time you go through that, you expect that new relationship
To fill that gap.
To fill that, no, not only to fill that gap. It's like this is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to happen. It labeled that relationship, but you didn't even give that person a chance to even go past that scar.
Yeah.
That scar is going to be there. And it's always going to be there, and you never had a chance from the beginning.
Well, and it's like when you get to that point, because some people don't know that they have to. There's things that they have to work on themselves and appreciate themselves for certain things before they go into that next relationship. They
That's
just know
true.
they get out of a relationship. They may start the process, but once you know we get to that other thing, the other form where somebody likes you, then you want that other. Sometimes the other person tries to fill that blank, or they want the other person to fill that blank, but that gap can't be filled. You have to fill it first.
Yep.
You know,
I agree.
and then the other person comes to their relationship. They just make things. They're just there to make things better, but they're not there to fill
The gap.
your void. That's
Yeah.
something you have to fill within you first.
Correct.
And then you move on to somebody else.
Amen, brother.
Move on to somebody else. You know, because we're all going. You know, most people all go through that. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going through that. You know, where I'm trying to fill that void of loving myself. You know. I go to the gym because I want to feel better about myself, but at the same time, does that, am I fixing whatever the real issue within me?
And I don't think that, I mean, just like Louis says, that example that he had of the meme,
Yeah.
I look good, but still empty inside. And I think that might be something that you're trying to cover up with the working out. You know what I mean? Instead of feeling that void of actually, okay, what made this void? And how do I get myself out of it? Because it's like you're in a hole, and you want to get out of the hole.
Yeah.
But it's like, what? How the frick do I get out of here? It's like, well, you just do one hand at a time, and you keep on crawling out.
And the biggest thing to me is you got to first be okay with being alone.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's huge.
That's the very first one. You got to be okay accepting the fact that you're not in a relationship, and that you can have a good time being by yourself, going to the movies by yourself, eating by yourself. It all starts with that. You got to be able to do that first without thinking about to the point like, do I need this person in my life?
That's a big step too.
That's the biggest stuff. People, if anybody can lie and say, I don't go to the gym for that reason, but they go to the gym so other people can like what they look like, because that's what they feel. Because most society treats us to look at the outer version of ourselves. People always say, "Oh, I like that person in the hearts and inside," but in actuality, man, they like the body. They're saying that in front of their friends, but in actuality, they might just be like the person physically. They like what they look physically and what they can do for them in the bed, and so on, so on, so
Oh,
forth.
you're going there. Okay.
Yeah, that's being
Hey,
real.
we're humans.
Yeah,
We're humans.
but that's just being real. You know,
Right.
that's just how people look. Most people look at it in reality. That's what they look at. What can you do for me in the physical? When I take you out in front of other people, you have to be presentable.
Like arm candy.
Yeah, and then in the bed, what can you do for me then? And if you can't do either of them, then I'm on the part of you. You know, and so that's kind of how that. And then when you get into breakup with somebody and you find out why the person because this, that, and the third, that's another notch against you. Yeah. And it makes you feel bad, and it makes you like overthink everything you do now. Makes everything worse, and so you can't really, like I said, getting out of the hole is hard because you got to figure out, like in the beginning, that you got to love yourself for who you are physically. If you want to make yourself look better physically, there's nothing wrong with that.
But that's got to be because
you want to do it.
Yeah.
Because you want to be in the
Not
best shape of your
because
body.
somebody else wants it.
Because you're not, but don't do it to be eye candy for somebody else. You do it because you want to make yourself feel good, be happy about the way you look, and moving forward from that. I appreciate it because Louis coming out talking about that. Because like I said, we don't really talk.
No, we don't.
Most people don't talk about
and
that.
And the thing is like it's hard to talk about stuff like that sometimes.
And Louis did mention something in the beginning. I'm gonna rewind a little bit. I did have a.
You did have
I did have
a rewind
little
sound
noise.
thing. Yeah.
Don't have those sound effects anymore. Kills me.
Thank God.
You were talking about males. Is that your main focus with this movement?
What, men?
Yeah.
No, I'm hitting absolutely everybody,
Okay.
but in this process, different things come to light. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that it starts when you're little, because, spoiler alert, I'm working on the kids' book.
Hey.
It's called El Perrito, and
nice.
it's about a little beautiful relationship with a child, friends, and a dog, and how it all comes to circle. Because we always say, I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave my house and this money. And it's funny because talking to my cousin, your wife,
Yes.
we one day had a conversation where I said, to leave kids materials or money doesn't make sense. Give them what we didn't have. Give them that support. Give them that love from the beginning that says, baby, you can do whatever you want to. Love yourself. Give them that, and imagine the kind of human beings they'll be later on. Give them the lessons that we're learning now at 33, 38, 40, whatever. Give them a simpler version to learn how to deal with these things eventually. Like, if they start early, like you said, learning that trust or learning self-love, and they're like, self-love, they can't even put the words together, but to know, hey, this is a small little clear example of loving yourself. Mm-hmm. You love your freckles, you love your hair, whatever. You that's what I'm gonna try with these kids' books, is trying to get them while they're young to do that. So, because imagine what they could be without having the years of bullshit that we put ourselves through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But also,
I mean, and touching that also, it's like, it's hard sometimes for kids. 'Cause, when people tell us all the time, you'll be all right, we always think our parents don't understand what that. They went through the same thing and they found a way to get out of it. If our parents would just be real and be like, hey, I went through the same thing you went through, and this is what I did to get through it, it could help that third kid get through it too. But then, like, if you have, kids bullying you at school, telling you that, this, that, and the third, that also makes it hard.
of course.
That reminds me of something. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying is like, I think society itself is that the older people are, the worse they had it, and now it doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad out there, because the bullying is very big. Mm-hmm. The cyberbullying is big too, and back then they had no restrictions. At least now they're focusing on it, and they're actually trying to get the kids help. Back then they didn't have that.
They didn't believe in it.
They didn't believe in it.
Toughen up.
Toughen up, buttercup. And if you didn't do it, then either went to another school, or the kid killed himself. It just sucks.
Or it was just ignored.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just ignore it.
Because that's
Don't
what
worry.
I got. That's where I was gonna go with, was before. I was told, me specifically going to school, if someone says something, you were talking about that the other day too.
Sticks and stones
may break your bones, but words may never hurt you.
Words are tough.
And just, hey, this kid's bothering me. Just ignore them, just stick to what you're doing. And that sounds easy, enough, but in a society like today, it really isn't. I'm going to use this as an example. I usually, you guys know, I don't like bringing my family into the show or anything, but I will bring my son, who just started kindergarten. And the other day, my wife made me aware that he said that there were some kids that were making fun of him. He didn't see it as bullying. And they were calling him fatty. And yeah, my son's a little, you guys seen my son, he's a little, I call him husky. I don't care. I was a bigger kid when I was younger too. I was just like him. And when you say it comes, Louis, when you say it comes from the home, you're right, because my father didn't really. All the males in my family, it was just like, oh, go work out, go work out. Oh, you're not doing like, what does it have to do with anything? So it was really nice to hear what my son's response was. My wife asked him, so what did you say to these kids? And he said, oh, I didn't care about him. I told him God made me this way.
Oh, that was good.
That's beautiful.
I was like, and I'm not the type to hammer religion into my son, but whatever he chooses in life was what he chooses. I just want him to know at least that there is someone that he can look up to. There's something that he can look up to if mommy and daddy aren't here. But the fact that he has taken that was cool. And his response, like,
I thought that was badass.
I think me and my wife are doing a really good job at, not making your figure, as important, like, who cares what you like,
because that messes that messes people up.
Tom, and Matt, you guys know I went to school for personal training.
Yeah.
I did the whole 9. I was a bigger kid. It did affect me while I was at school, and when I'm growing up, I lost weight, and I didn't like that person, but I wasn't happy either. So, no, I didn't love myself even though I was thinner and in better shape. Now, I feel like I'm heavier now than what I was, but I feel like I'm happy, man.
You're also older.
Yeah,
I think it matters,
I'm
too.
older. But on top of that, but we're doing that with our son, is we're teaching him, like, we're not making that a focal point. We're not focusing on that. And I like that he walks in with this confidence. This is what I'm trying to build.
Yeah,
it's priceless.
Don't just ignore him, or hold yourself up high, and then people won't be like, yo, why I keep dogging on him, but he just like walks with his head up.
Well, I mean, it's okay for them to ignore him, but still at the same time, if you're gonna ignore him, have that confidence to believe that what you preach.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
walk with the confidence. Yeah. You probably won't get bothered.
Because most people say you ignore them, but it's in the back. You're still in the back of your mind, even if you ignore them. But if you, like he did, he believed what he said and ignored it. So that's something he can just keep. No matter what happens, it's still going to be there. That no matter what they say to him, he still believes what he believes.
He took away their power.
And that's that confidence that's going to continue to push him moving forward. And that hopefully he stays mentally strong, because it gets tougher. Middle school, high school.
My son's going through it now.
I couldn't believe though at kindergarten. I was like,
no,
Jesus.
dude, this rhythm.
That's huge.
My son,
he gets one of my books.
My son was getting picked on because my son's big too. He's a little bit average, more than above average in height and weight for his age, and he was getting picked on in daycare.
Okay.
By 5th graders. 5th graders are a little bit old, a lot older than him, but he's almost their same size. So I told him this. I said, listen, you tell them how you feel. They don't respect that. They keep messing with you. Okay, tell the teacher. Tell the teacher they still mess with you. Then you take matters in your own hands.
Drop that sucker.
And next thing you know, he told the teacher. They kept going.
Okay.
So he ended up punching him, and he kept beating him up. Then his cousins came in. Gabe took him out, and they took out 3 kids. Because I told him, don't stop. If you're going to keep going, you're going to finish it. And he did it. But my son is one thing he's not, and Louis can vouch for this. He's not a fighter type, kid. He's a lover. He likes to hug up people. He gets a little annoying, but, that's just how it is.
It's love.
But that's the same thing also happened in school with him, is that they call him chunky. They call him fat. And they said, listen. And all he said was, listen. It's like, yeah, I'm bigger than you. You didn't say, God made me that way, but I like the way Julian did that. But Gabriel just said, yeah, I'm bigger than you. So what are you trying to prove? And then the kid just shut up because he knew, like, holy crap, I'm making fun of somebody who's bigger than me. I better be careful.
Now, we got to also look at it as, when we say it starts from the home, the other kid's making fun of the other ones.
Yeah,
Well,
it starts from their home too.
Their homes is like,
They probably get made fun of.
Their
probably
parents are the
preaching
ones
kid.
that make fun of them.
They're probably preaching that kid. He needs to be in shape. You got to be in all these different sports and stuff like that. The ones that force their kids to do all these things that they don't want to do. They're doing it because they have to. And
like
then,
they live vicariously through the kid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then like the parents, the kids ripped and stuff, so on and so forth at a young age. He's not living the life of a kid.
He's not happy.
and he's just doing this, and so he's bad because he can't live his life the way he's doing. Like, I want to be.
So he's rebelling.
Yeah, but he's taking it on the kid. That's most of what happens. Is with kids taking on other kids because whatever's happening back at home, that's what they do, and he sees that as a okay, I can do that,
Yep.
and then they do it at school, and the parents don't reprimand them for that because they do it. They can't reprimand for somebody for doing the same thing if they're out there doing it.
Or they reprimand them, not knowing that they do the same thing,
And then
the kid's all jacked up.
Mm-hmm. It has no effect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough, man.
Initially, on both ends, everything starts from
At the house.
youth.
Yeah.
But no, it's very interesting that you're
Taking a stand on it.
I would consider it a movement.
It's definitely a movement.
Yeah.
The brand is on the side. Yes, it's there to push and to help grow, but the message is a forefront. The print brand that I released is meant for reminder. It's meant to see it and to see
That's
the little
what I was
heart,
gonna say.
and that's just a little. You know what?
It's a
You
visual
see-
thing of saying, you know what, I do love myself.
And it's also that reminder. You look in the mirror. Genuinely, I want people to put on their shirt or put on the whatever and just love it. To love it and to know that, maybe they don't love themselves all at once. It's not an everyday, it's not a process. You can't fake it. To truly look in the mirror and say, I love myself. I got one eye a little smaller than the other, okay, but that's me.
Yeah, that's how it is.
And I can't change that, and it's taken me a long time to get here. So now it's like, look,
It is what it is.
It is what it is, and I'm not not making no excuses for it.
Mm-hmm.
I may need another belt on the airline. So what? It doesn't. Well, I don't. I'm just using it as a reference.
Please, extension.
In the sense of like, look, this is me. Like, yeah, that super fit guy, that's him too. And if he loves himself how he is, that's what matters. But for the adults, for the people, kind of on our level, who maybe have had a rougher time, as a child, or have been programmed or conditioned to think a certain way, it's up to those people who are seeing it to make that change, because this is the hard work. Kids are growing up, and we're educating and we're pushing and we're trying to enlighten like the books, but us, we're stubborn. I know when you tell somebody, man, if you just, I know, you don't know because you're doing the same thing, and you're not making that positive change. And I do talk to like a lot of people. I don't know. I guess people just come to me, but we talk, and a lot of times I'm like, man, you don't see the blessings. Like, the sun is shining. It could not be. Like it starts with something so tiny. I had a banging breakfast, man. It was so good. I feel good. I feel energized. It will change your mindset. Oh, I woke up. Oh, another day. Yeah, it's gonna be another day. If you don't see that it's actually another day to try something, to be something, to do something. And it's that opportunity that I see every day that I feel like helps a lot with pushing that love and pushing that idea. Maybe you just put a little seed. You know what? Maybe it's going to take you 6 months, but in 6 months you call me and you say, yo, man, I looked at myself and I said, I kind of love myself. That's huge. That's huge because we don't think about it. We think about bills, we think about kids, we think about responsibilities, but we don't think about ourselves.
And it's not just about weight.
No.
It doesn't have to be weight.
No, not even close.
It's
Overall,
everything.
Yeah.
yes, it's overall because the skinniest people are unhappy because they're skinny. They want to be thick and they want to be strong. That's how they're built.
Yeah.
I'm thick. I'm built like this. I'm allergic on the inside. I'm short, thick, and sweet. Can't change that. But it's about finding the beauty within.
Got
You know
it.
what I mean? Whether it's, hey, I got great calves. I mean, I do. They look like you. They're sculpted.
Yeah.
I'm starting there. I'm happy with that.
There you
Start
go.
there.
There you go.
I have an awesome jawline. Like, you can't beat it. Start there. It just start with something that you love, and eventually that negative, that backwards, that today, it'll start to change, and that's what this is pushing. That little bit. That's why the videos go up. That's why the posts happen. That's what inspires
As a matter
the
of
collection.
fact, as you're saying that, where can people find your videos and are you, what social media platforms are you on?
Yeah.
Hey, I am on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
The YouTube channel is linked on my Instagram, Louis de Blonde, Louie, the letter D, apostrophe, and then blonde with an E at the end. The videos are all kind of different places. That's why I did the YouTube, so it could all be in one place and people could just see, they could subscribe, and maybe one person hears one thing that they needed to hear that helps them one time.
Yeah.
Right.
Done.
And then you spread that one time to another person.
That one time.
And to another person. And that's how it's supposed to
Like
work.
they say, as long as one person gets something out of it, you've done your job,
Yeah.
or you've spread.
No, you've done something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done something. Correct.
Yeah.
I want to eventually grow this into, a lifestyle brand where you see the heart all over the place overall, because I feel like it's worth it to see it in any way, shape, form possible. Houseware, goods, beauty, clothing, anything. But it all has to start with the message. If you don't believe it, don't buy it.
It's funny
I
because,
believe in it. I believe that. Like,
But
if you don't believe it, don't buy it.
You saw there's a link, right? On
There is
also
a
to buy your line, clothing line?
on the Facebook. Everything is selling on Etsy right now.
Okay.
I'm about to release some awesome fall products coming up in the next week.
And that is Etsy.com. And how do you spell that? ESTY.
Yes.
ETSY.
ETSY.
ETSY. Okay.
.com.
ETSY.com.
Etsy.com, and then the Louis de Blonde is just like the Instagram. You can see all the products there, leggings and crop tops, backpacks. I'm gonna release some fall stuff soon, so it's gonna be. I'm excited about that because I like fall. I'm not like ooh, but it's sweaters and some fun
Here in
stuff.
Central
us
Florida,
big kid-
everyone's waiting for fall.
Us
Ooh,
big folks,
we stay warm.
We like the cold weather.
Yes, I look good in my winter clothes. I ain't mad at
Do we
that.
even get fall here?
No, don't. Let's not go to this conversation because
But it's a fall
I'm from up
collection,
north and I'm gonna go nuts.
Yeah, because the changing of the leaves. And
Yes.
the cold.
The leaves do change here. But
Yeah,
it's
they
not-
blow from one side to the other.
Yes. That's it.
They change in like
And
April.
then they got palm trees.
They're just dramatic. There was like, when
Goodness
it's like
gracious.
no breeze outside and they're still moving.
Oh my god.
Man, speaking of time, man, we're in October.
Yeah.
We forgot to celebrate a birthday because haven't been on air for
Oh
a couple
yes.
weeks.
We're 2 years old.
This podcast is 2 years old
Hey.
now.
Yeah.
Congratulations to us. We don't even have a cake or anything.
We'll get a little
Most
cupcake.
podcasts don't make it a year.
Well, we're
So
pushing.
To me,
Two.
this is a milestone. Man.
We're trucking. We're trucking.
That's love right there. You
Yeah.
put it.
See,
You put
there
in the
you go.
love.
There's
you see?
love. It's all coming
Put-
out.
You matter.
Like a circle.
Not a triangle.
A triangle circle.
Ooh.
And we're in the month of October,
Yes.
which means
31 days of Halloween.
Halloween.
yes.
Or Columbus Day.
Is that what you were
Either
saying,
one.
or that's where you were going, Alex?
I don't know
yeah,
where you were
that's
going
where
with
I'm
this
going.
one.
That's where I'm
31 days of Halloween, so which means all these particular horror movies. I can't. That's just a horror.
Horror.
Horror movies.
Not horror movies.
Horror movies.
Okay.
That come out now.
Yes.
You guys can enjoy those on national TV and
Oh.
cable. And,
Actually, Hulu has Huluween.
and what's that?
Huluween.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
That's
all
good.
it's all
Good
movies.
marketing.
Yeah, it's all movies.
Okay.
Like horror movies.
I almost got you saying that.
Yes. Almost did. That was
And
messed up.
so yeah, we have Halloween Horror Nights going on right now because we're in the Mecca.
Weren't you supposed to go Wednesday?
I was, but
You didn't go.
no, our buddy Jay wants to go.
Oh. So when are we
it's probably
going then?
next week.
next week. I gotta put it on the calendar.
Would you consider the mecca of theme parks?
We
Orlando?
are?
I think
I
we
think
have the
so.
most.
I think we have
amount.
more than any.
Within like traveling, I think they're the closest.
Because I mean, you have
they're the
Universal
most.
that's about to open up another theme park.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's gonna be a while, but it's gonna be.
This is what Nintendo
Yeah, but
themed?
No,
Is that
it's
what
it's Universal's Epic Universe.
Oh.
I saw the renderings, very nice.
We have
Oh,
Halloween at
nice.
quite a few establishments, and then right after
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you been?
No, I'm gonna go next week as well.
Oh, I've never been.
I heard you get a lot of candy,
Yes.
I heard that too on the radio.
but I want to get dressed up and be fabulous.
And I hear it.
Nice.
I hear Disney does give like. The
No,
good
like
stuff.
when I
heard
and it's like
I
name
heard
brand stuff too.
literally-
No sixlets.
Yes.
They give you M&Ms.
The six
Guy
legs.
busted out the
Those sixes were good.
I like them too.
I like
Those
them.
were the chocolate that I got from my grandma.
Yeah.
Mira, give me M&Ms over sixlets. I'm not
Oh.
playing with no sixlets.
But anyways,
That's why they
I
only
heard
come out of
that
Halloween.
You come out with like a pound of candy after you've
No, like
done
this
a
for
little
real.
traveling through there. Yeah.
Well, you know, SeaWorld does the same thing as well. Have you
But we
guys
don't
been
come
to
out with
SeaWorld?
a yes.
I
We don't.
have. I
I've
did.
been with you, and we've never come out with a pound of candy.
Let me give you.
I've been with you
let me
what
give you-
3 years? We've
Maybe
gone.
he took
Give you a
maybe he
heads
takes
up.
the candy.
Last year I went. I wouldn't go with.
Oh, I didn't go there. No.
And it was an hour before park closing.
Oh, so they emptied
if you-
up.
Yeah, so these employees are trying to like get rid of.
So
They're like, we
can
don't
go
wanna
home.
carry this bag.
Because they don't want to. They got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about. I had like 3 or 4
Handfuls.
bags of just nerds,
Nice.
and they were handing out the that chocolate bar, the Oreo one.
Oh yes.
But they were
that's
handing out
good,
the
with the
actual,
little
not the fun
squares.
spot, the fun size. They were giving out the entire bar,
yes.
like
yes,
the
they
king
were.
size.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And but
I'm going with you.
But they were handing them out like crazy at the end, and I'm just like, would you like 3 or
Sure,
4?
I'll
I'm
take
like,
the whole thing.
Give me the whole thing. There's this guy that ran up, and he grabbed this shirt, you know, and he
Made
you
like
know
a
made it
bag.
like a bag.
Oh,
and they're
man.
like, can you just give it? And the employee was like, sure, you know, and just dumped the entire thing of like candy into
Oh,
his shirt.
man,
He's just
wow.
walking out of the park like that with his shirt up.
Nice.
Anyway, so yeah, we're in Halloween. In November, Louis has something going on.
Oh,
yes, he does.
Yes.
So that's where I'm getting to.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay, I
I'm
got
thinking
you
about
on the
candy.
The whole bag.
We
The
can
whole
continue
bag.
the Halloween, 'cause let me tell you, Halloween, I do like Halloween. I ain't gonna lie.
I like
horror.
scared the shit.
Horror
You guys got any
stuff.
good costumes lined up?
I'm probably gonna do Michael Myers this year.
No.
I always do Michael Myers.
Somebody invited me to
You
a
do
party.
always do Michael Myers.
I love Michael
You were
Myers.
invited to a party?
I don't know if I'm going.
I said
but-
that there.
Can we
That's messed
go?
up. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I didn't
wow.
mean it that way.
No,
I did not mean
Wait,
it that way.
hey, don't worry, Matt. We love you.
It's all good.
Forget this guy.
I mean, somebody invited me. He was like, "You should come dressed up." I was like, "I might come as Debo.
Oh,
I might come.
you can
as,
have a bike.
I might come with a bike.
The bike?
Yeah, and then I might have the soundtrack in the background, like in my
Nice.
phone, or I might come as Luke Cage. And I-
Okay, you can do that. I think Luke Cage you'd be more Luke Cage than Debo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that eye.
No.
So, Louis, you said you were gonna go, and you're gonna go
Dressed up. What are you
because
gonna dress
can-
up like?
To Disney's Not So Scary, you can go dressed up.
Yes.
Well,
As long as you don't have can't be a masked. costume.
well, the costume that I am creating, it's not Disney friendly.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's gonna be for a friend's birthday / also Halloween.
Oh.
I'm just gonna say 2 words. Little Kim.
Oh. Yeah.
It's gonna be a really, really fun costume meant to, entertain.
Nice.
I'm also making it from scratch. #OTC Fashion Production. Okay, and every day I go to school and I'm making my own costume.
There we go.
Nice.
So November 6th is
Yes.
the 6th annual Beat the Runway Fashion Show, which we've been a part of for 6 years from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Tom's wife and I put on this awesome show, and it's for 104.5 The Beat Radio.
Okay.
Through
Shout out to
iHeartMedia.
104.5 The Beat.
Woo,
I don't know if they
woo,
listen to our podcast. but
Hey.
Yeah, if they do.
What's up?
What's up?
Hashtag link. Okay.
Hey, I listen all the time.
So the show
Live.
is gonna be at the at the Orlando Science Center, overlooking the balcony's gonna be overlooking downtown. So
Ooh.
we're excited. It's a new space, a new venue, a lot of new energy. I think we're playing with some.
That's a good venue.
But
Yeah.
I think it's positive energy because the venues that I've heard, Su Ling has talked of you guys getting to, they were a little bit too more, too. It wasn't to show your. It was like always crowded. It was like small. Like the last venue you had, which I liked, and I went to the show. I think did I go to that show? No, that was post for Pride.
Yeah, that was a hotel.
That was at the
Aloft.
the one before that.
Aloft?
Paris. It used to be Paris.
Orchid Garden. That's
Yes,
right.
Orchid Garden.
Yeah.
Orchid Garden recently closed.
But I'm saying, that was awesome. Like you felt
Well, that's
the
a big
environment. Yeah,
Beautiful, man.
and
that
now
was where we did our main show.
now the Science Center, that's
It's
good.
open. It's gonna be nice. It's an open kind of space overall, but it's gonna be awesome performers. Fashions selected by yours truly.
There you
We
go.
also pick the models and we come up with the hair and makeup concept. So it's a lot of fun. And like I said, it's our 6th year. So every year we elevate a little more. Cocktails and little hors d'oeuvres and fun stuff. And it's an event that Orlando looks forward to. It's been our 6th year. It's not the first one. It's our 6th year. So we're excited to do that. So now up until then, it's just go, go, go. Work, school, fashion show, bidi bidi bamba.
No stopping.
Non-stop.
This is where I don't see my wife.
Right. Till November 8th.
Yeah.
Or it's,
Or she
November
takes a break
7th.
from you.
Pretty much, it's mostly taking a break from me. But anyways,
So what's next? What else we got on the list tonight,
Oh, what else did you guys want to bring to the table?
well, I mean, my thing is with this whole situation, not situation, but the whole movement thing is like,
Wait, before you get that,
what?
did Louis for the event in November? Where can people get information if they want?
Oh
Can
yeah,
people go?
tickets and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Tickets. You can check hashtag Beat the Runway on Instagram. You can go to the 104.5 The Beat Radio Instagram. They have all the events and the flyers.
So any Joe can go to this. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
As long as you get a
Anybody can
ticket.
go as long as you get a ticket. Yeah.
Okay, great. That's awesome.
Yes. Hashtag. That's the plug. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, because I was like, wait, can anybody go to this thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody.
It's not one of those where it's just strictly
though?
local
I'm telling you right now,
celebrities.
the bouncers outside. I'm telling you right now, you can't get in there with them shoes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all about like fashion. Like people, they show out. They,
Yeah.
probably don't show up in chancletas because you might be looked at a little funny. But
Yeah.
it's a great event
You
where
don't wanna
people
go to
really
Giga slides.
right. They're gonna be like, but we love everybody, so just
Yeah.
do your thing.
Just cover up the slides.
Sorry to cut you off, Tom.
No, that's
I
fine.
just
That's fine.
So go ahead with what you were
No,
saying.
but I'm thinking is like, okay, so we address the reason why you made this brand. We addressed the movement that you're doing. Now, we did address a few things about how the void was there, but my thing is, what about, you were talking about the male, like the other parts, like what were you getting at? I don't think we've actually went full blown on it, because me and you were talking before this about how when it comes to even relationship in abuse, majority of people go towards the female that gets abused and not the male.
I think overall we don't give men enough credit in certain respects. I understand there's a lot of things that still are unfair as far as the men in certain respects, but I think that to recognize that men suffer from anxiety and depression and insecurities, and it's not just the girls in the mirror feeling a certain way, that guys feel the same way. They just don't verbalize it. They don't vocalize it. They don't call their friends and say they feel a certain way or whatever. They keep it all inside, and that internalization is just chipping away at yourself
Isn't
little
that
by
something
little.
that's taught from a young age as well,
Suck
right?
it up.
What's the number one thing that pops right into my head is you can't cry. You're a boy. Boys
You don't cry.
Yeah,
Crying is
Yeah,
the most
crying's for
freeing
girls.
expression
that's what I
that you
heard.
can think of. Like you just, to be like, I'm crying and you get it out. It's sometimes a guy might cry and be like, wow, I've never felt this before. You haven't allowed yourself to do that. But remember, in doing that, you're also not, you probably also haven't allowed yourself to truly feel love. People go from person to person, from relationship to relationship, like you said, looking for someone to fill these voids. But in reality, if we just stand back and fill our own voids, then when that right person comes, all you can do is plant seeds and grow a beautiful forest.
Yeah.
But when you got a bunch of holes, ain't nothing gonna grow.
And that's what, yeah, I was gonna say something about that too. So like, so you're going from like relationship to relationship, but you're not fixing anything. Mm-mm. So there's holes in the. It's like a boat. A boat gets holes, and then by the time you try to get to that right one, you're already sinking. So you're not even giving that right one a fair chance at having a good relationship with you.
By the time they try to fill these holes, they're tired of it, and they're like, forget it.
They say, yeah, exactly. It's like,
What's the point?
I didn't ask for this.
Well, a lot of times, for me, like what I think is that, you know, they get into the relationship with the person, and most people are like, oh, it wasn't my fault, and they move on to the next one, and it might have been your fault, but you won't take the chance to realize it because you got that mentality now, or it wasn't my fault. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing because it's not me. It's them. It's got to be them. It can't be me. You know, and there's nothing wrong with having that type of confidence, but be sure it's not you.
Yeah.
You know, before you do that. Like, be sure that, you know, you're mentally stable. Like, you know, like you have that positivity that everything in your life is fine and you're not hurting in the inside. You know, you're not just going in from relationship because this person's trying to help you, but you won't accept that help, and so you bounce and find somebody else that's not going to give you that same interaction. They're not going to say the same thing to you. They're going to just be like, okay, whatever, and then just move on forward. But when they finally get tired of that point and they're trying to tell you that, hey, this is what's wrong, and you do the same thing. You push that person away and you move on to the next person because you can't see that it's you.
Yeah.
You know,
you don't want to
you're
hear
blind.
that.
Yeah,
You're
you're blind by the fact that
it can't be you.
Yeah,
in your head, it cannot be you.
You know, my life is perfect. I got this, I got that. You know, like we said earlier, cash, cars, money. You know, I got all that stuff. I got the perfect job or the perfect job for me, and you know, everything is fine. But there's, like you said, there's something. There's an anchor that's holding you down, and you're not willing to release to let that go because you don't see it as the anchor. You just see, you know, just moving, and that's it. You know,
you're still dragging that.
Yeah, it's that thing that's still holding you down, but you can't reach your full potential because that is holding you down.
I think it's not. I'm sorry. I think it's about not being. Men are strong. Okay, we're strong. We're known to be strong. Okay, fine. But more strength. It takes more strength to look in the mirror, or have that small self conversation in your head. That's like, yo, you're okay. Like you can do this. That inner dialogue, that mention to yourself, it matters. Like it's something that doesn't happen enough. It doesn't happen enough, so then you project it, and then you're angry, then all these things happen, when really, if you just step back and figured out what's going on with yourself, you can move forward and be more productive and help other people eventually.
But at the same time, like, you know, when you're saying about men, they look at what their fathers went through, or what their father shows that they're strong every day. They never see their father cry or upset or anything, but because their father just keeps moving.
Especially the doctor one. I don't go to the doctor.
Yeah, you know, stuff like that. You know, they need to go to the doctor. They don't go to the doctor to go to the doctor until they're on their deathbed almost. You know, but because their father has trained them to think about it this way, think about the struggles in life. You know, you just take it and move, just put it back and just keep moving forward. You know, you look at your father. Okay, that's how I want to be like my father. But they don't know what their father is actually going through. You know,
they just see one
They
side.
just see him being super strong, and that's how they feel. That's mentally. That's what we're supposed to be.
You see the show.
Yeah, you know, and then your parents always, as you grow up, parents will tell you, oh, you got to be the breadwinner, this, that, and the third, and that's a lot of pressure for somebody to have the perfect job to take care of their bills, somebody else's bills, and help them with everything going on in their life, knowing that they're struggling and just, you know, they don't want to go to work, but they got to go to work because, like, I got to take care of everybody else.
You just described me.
But you also have to take care of yourself. Because
exactly.
Without yourself, you can't provide for anybody.
Yeah, but most people put themselves to the side in order for everybody else to make sure everybody else is fine.
Yeah.
So when other people are saying, like, you know, nobody's willing to help me and stuff like that, or they're crying and hurting inside, it's because nobody's there to help them, but they're doing all they can to help everybody else. Because some people put themselves or other people before them.
Most people do.
Yeah. You know, because that's what we're trained to love and give to everybody else. But in the end, like I said, when it comes down to us, we're the last to be worried about. We're worried about ourselves last.
And that's why I started the brand.
Yeah, and then that's where you get that question: what do I want?
Yeah,
What am I?
Yeah.
What do I have to feel?
Does the same thing? I've been just thinking about something while you guys were talking. Is it the same thing with those folks that they work? You know what I'm saying? Like they grind all the time, and that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that you grind all the time to get your money, but there's those people that like have to, for example, let me use The Rock.
Okay.
For example, the actor. Like, I mean, he has the TV shows, the movies. He's always working, always grinding. I'm the top,
The workout
this,
videos.
I make this much money. Those people that are always like this much money isn't enough for them. They have to continue doing something. Is that because some people see that as a good thing? Like, oh wow, he's always inspired to reach other goals and continue. But can that also be looked at in another form as they reach these goals and they continue doing these goals to get up higher and higher and higher because they just aren't happy?
I think that it's
okay.
it should be there should be a balance. I think it's on an individual basis. People want to strive for more, they want more, but also
No, I know what you're saying. I think what you're saying is that they're trying to do this to make.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, by the way.
No, yeah. I think what you're trying to say is that they're making themselves so busy that they don't have to deal with it. I think that's what it is. Is that
some people see it as like, oh, look at this guy. He's always,
he's always grinding. But remember, we only see one side, just like you were
Correct.
saying. We only see that side.
What
does he do with all that money?
Like he always says,
it could be going to a therapist. You don't know.
And I keep using The Rock because he uses the whole thing of like, there was a point in my life where I had nothing. I had just $7 in my pocket, and then I created it. I went. To
That's his motivator.
And motivation, right? And people see that as. But is there something there that he's trying to
overcompensate for, make up
right.
for, fill a void for?
Yes.
Yes, it is. The fact that he came from a place with having $7. So to him, his security, his happiness is never, ever needing anything. So he will keep grinding until he got so much money in his pocket, he don't know what to do with. But he just wants to feel that he's got something behind him because he came from a place of nothing. But there is a slippery slope because addiction, the place that I come from, it's a dark place, but it's the same mentality behind, I'm gonna go to the gym every day, I'm gonna look every good, I'm gonna feel real good because I'm at the gym and everybody's gonna look at me and I'm gonna feel good. But then you go home and you're like, yeah, but I feel like shit, or nobody noticed my pecs today, nobody said this, and then more things start to harbor in your head. No difference than addiction. You want the next hit, you want that next drink, you want the next whatever, because you want to continue to feel good.
I mean, to be completely honest, we're all human, so we're all gonna.
I'm so.
No, you
before
good.
you get going, I know that the folks that are listening are probably like, "Whoa, Ed, where'd you come from with this?" But that was just something that I had in my mind because I mean.
No, it relates. No, it relates.
No, because, like I was saying, let me get my train of thought back. Like I was saying, like none of us are perfect. No. So we all have something that we're fighting with.
I'm messing with
you. Get I know you. We all have something that we're not because we're not perfect. So we all have something. We can say we don't, but we all do. And whether it's going to work, playing video games, whatever it is that you like to do, more likely you like to do it either because it's something you really like to do, or you're trying to avoid from thinking about something else.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
If you're consistently playing video games and people say, "Oh, this is my fantasy world," it's because you're trying to get away from something else. That once you're done playing it, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back regardless.
Just like the light bill.
Yeah. So.
But that's also the same thing with drinking and well, mostly I have a thing with the drinking part. Is like I've gone to a point where I've had issues with drinking, and I've gotten to a point where I had a DUI, and I pretty much almost totaled my car. But I was dealing with my father's death. I was dealing with a certain amount of things. I was dealing with a lot of things. I'm still dealing with stuff now, but drinking, I masked it. It was a mask.
Yeah.
But what was underneath the mask was still there. And it not only did you have it twice when you get back from being drunk, but you also have a hangover. You also don't feel good. You know what I mean?
You still spend up all your money.
Exactly.
You piss people off. You embarrass yourself.
Exactly. And then that's another thing is like, there's so much that people try to avoid, and they need to know that they need to face it. Bottom line, they have to face it.
It ain't going nowhere.
It's not. It will never go anywhere. No matter how hard you dream it away or you wish it away, if you don't either talk about it, if you don't either bring it up or to something or to get help for it, you're just gonna stay there.
Well, you know what? Speaking of that, 'cause I was listening to a video this morning when I woke up, and it was a guy who was talking about he's at the gym, and he made a good point. He was like, if we don't have insecurities, we're not gonna have anything to strive for because we have nothing to be secure for. So, so we always think about insecurities as a bad thing. It's also a good thing because that's something we strive to get better at now, and that's only to work on our insecurities, not to make yourself like this, that, and the third, like better than everybody else. But it's to work on how to make yourself better as a better human being.
Okay.
So it's not. I'm not saying we should promote insecurities, but take those insecurities and
as an opportunity.
It's an opportunity to change and grow and be better.
Yep.
That's a positive outlook, and I think that's taking anything and putting your positive light on it is what matters. Because I gotta take out the trash. Yeah, it sucks taking out the trash, but guess what? It's out your house.
Yeah.
So it's all about your mindset. It could be with absolutely anything. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But it could be worse. People walk in with one foot out the door, ready to leave work. I'm a bartender. Ain't nothing fancy about that. But you're upset. Oh, another day, like I was saying earlier. But you could be shoveling shit. You could be homeless. You could be on the street with one hand out and a leg looking for money. It could be absolutely worse. But you're okay. So I don't know. That's.
I ran into something on social media today, and I shared it with.
Oh, I was gonna say
Go
that.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna tell you. Ed actually text us
I don't remember.
a pretty
I can't
good
go
line.
through my phone right now. I don't know if
Oh,
you still have
let me
it,
see
but
what it says.
I found a
Keep
saying
talking.
on social media, and I thought that was great because, a lot of people in this situation, it had to do with failure, right?
Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna get it up.
He's looking for it.
Okay, so it says something to do with failure, and that's another big issue is failure, because failure creates that insecurity and overthinking and negative.
Well, that's self-esteem.
It's okay to fail though.
Self-esteem, right there. I understand failure definitely is a big thing, and I've actually the crazy part is like my wife gave me a couple articles to read today about self-esteem, and it does start when you're young.
Yeah.
It does.
I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper. Does all this also connect itself to why so many people nowadays are having like anxiety? Like how many? Like
I'm
there's
one of them.
So many people now with it, like that you never even heard of back in the day.
Okay, just a quick moment. Hold on.
Yeah.
The saying you sent to us was just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're failing, which is true.
It's true.
It's so true.
I thought that was perfect.
But okay, but for that one, and I look at it because businesses and society and stuff like that, businesses won't pay people. People feel like they're failing or are struggling because they're not getting paid enough to do what they do. You got these places being built that are way out of their pay range, and then they have to go get a second job to cover that, and they can't even live their life. They don't have what's the point of buying a house or buying this place if
You got like three jobs and you're not even staying in.
You're never there. You're there for like maybe 2 hours, and then get up and go back to work again. Like, that's my biggest issue with society today is like they're not paying people enough to do the job they do, to deal with the stuff they do, but you want them to come to work and smile and do this and do that. Bro, pay me what I'm worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. That would be my biggest issue is like, and that's what people come into struggling. Like, I'm struggling because I'm working here. They go to school, they pay for school, and they never get the job that they went to school for in the first place, and they're paying for a debt that they never got to where they wanted to get to. And that they're working at McDonald's or wherever be the case to pay off a debt for a school that they were supposed to, for a class they went to school for.
Well, I don't think that saying is.
Well, I mean, that's how I'm taking it back for me.
That's his version of that saying.
I took it more like what Louis was saying a little bit ago, and now my train of thought disappeared. But
well, it's not
something.
It says what did you just say? I forgot. I didn't read.
Just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't mean you're a failure if you're struggling.
No, because there could be a lot more things that are worse than life. Like Louis was telling you, telling us is that the person down the road or next door neighbor has no leg, is thinking about, has no family that comes to visit them. Things of that, I'm just poking at little examples, but I know I'm in my life right now. I'm struggling financially. I'm working my butt off. My wife's working her butt off. I got 2 kids. I'm trying to make ends meet, and I'm struggling. But
that doesn't mean
I always say the same thing, is that look at that person over there. He's under a bridge. I have a house over my head. I have food in my fridge. I have, just because I don't have an awesome house that's mine and things of that sort, doesn't, it's in that, I'm going to go this way, in this time of the universe, I'm not meant to have that at this moment. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not meant to have it. I'm meant to be in the spot I am to teach myself something or to learn something that I can help somebody out, or I'm helping myself out, and that's how it's put. I could be, like I said, I could be struggling, but I know for a fact that I'm not failing. I know for a fact.
I think it all comes back to, but as far as what you were saying earlier, it is still, in my opinion, Louis DeBlonde, your mindset. Yes, you don't get paid enough, or you're not being paid enough. I have found that in situations where I feel that I'm not being paid enough, I value myself, I stand my ground, and I put out the fact that I'm going to make the most that I can, and every penny is what I deserve for that day. And I can honestly say, since I started thinking that, that's what happened. I get quality people who come in, I make my money, I pay my bills, I'm happy. It's not what I went to school for, but I'm also fashion show, building, in school, doing what I'm doing. On the side, I still think it comes back to a mindset. If you're not being paid enough, you're not being valued, value yourself, put that out there, it will come back to you. Because it's a thought.
It's funny that you said that, because I tell Gabriel, and I tell my kids, and I told my wife, like, emotions is like a boomerang. You throw it out, comes back. You get what you throw out, comes back to you. And I will stamp that, and I will drill that into my kids' heads, because I think that's so true. Whatever positive you get out, you get positive back. Whatever negative you shovel out, you're going to get negative back.
That's all that's going to stay in your head.
Yeah. So,
but if you look at it this way, from another perspective, of that saying, even though you're struggling, you're not failing, it doesn't do anybody any good when you have, supposedly your friends or family telling you, oh, you need to be in a better place. Or this or that needs to be happening for you. Like, why hasn't that happened? Like, bro, I can't control what I can't control.
It's true.
I am where I am is where I am. And people always, well, your dad did this and your dad did that. Well, I'm not my dad. Mm-hmm. We all have our own lives to live. I was chosen to do whatever I was chosen to do, and like you said, Tom, it's not my time yet to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help your confidence any better when people are telling you, you should be here or you should be there.
But that's where Louis comes into play. That's where
that little bit of stuff.
Like, you gotta love yourself, and confidence is gonna come from that.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't have people around you.
He's talking about like having the people around you have to be on your same page.
You're not married yet.
Yeah,
you're not this yet.
You can't have.
They don't have to be on your same page. They will never be on your same page.
So that's where you take that
self-realization,
that confidence, and like my son did. Mm-hmm. You hold your head up high and say, "No,
I'm where I need to be right now."
You know what I'm saying? Is this okay? And you keep walking with your head up high, because that's the one thing that I hate, is that society always says this, and this. When I was in school, especially in middle school, they had every student in my class do a form. Hey, fill out this form, and it's going to tell you what you're good at and what direction you should go in. Like, why does a paper need to tell me what I'm going to be in life?
That's not right. I mean,
it was like a Scantron. You circulated it, and at the end, you're like,
you don't always fit into that.
And then you know what it came up for me? It said, "Oh, hey, your job between things that you like, you would be in agriculture. You're a farmer." You tell me that I'm going to be a farmer.
I always said if you don't,
does not have a green thumb. I'll just tell you that.
I've always said if they don't pay, or not, to quote the great RuPaul, if they don't pay your bills, don't pay them no mind. And that's just a fact. If those people in your circle or around you telling you, hey, X, Y, and Z, you should do this, you should do that, they're not where they need to be. So their easy thing is to point at you. It's to deflect on you because they're not doing what they need to do. So it's, hey, why you ain't got no kids? Hey, why you ain't got no this? Where aren't you this? Those people are there for a reason. Okay, that's fine. But it takes that self-realization to be like, hey, I am where I am. I'm doing what I'm doing. You got options. You could either back it up or you could be by me. But the pointing the finger ain't going to work for nobody. So I love you, but I'm going to keep doing my thing. And it's hard to say that to your family. But like I've told your wife before, too, you can't take on the weight of the world. And everybody's problems ain't yours. Because at the end of the day, you put your head on your pillow. You pay your bills. You do what you have to do. Ain't nobody else pay your bills and help you out. Then can't nobody say a word to you. So they sign that check. Your boss could tell you something. Yeah, he pays you. But everybody else who got something to say, I appreciate your feedback, but I don't have to take on your burden. That's just a fact.
And it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to, like, you know,
Or the pressure.
those people, you got to get rid of them out of your life. You don't got
No. I said say thank you.
Like,
Yeah.
you show them, like, hey, you hang around me, and you're going to, you know, you can maybe change that person.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you never will, but then they'll see you grow, too. Because you're always going to be calm.
Well, I mean, I'm just putting that as an example of what,
I know,
you know,
I got
and
you.
then, you know, plus people tell them, like, because they look at their life, what they have the family and kids, so to them, they feel that's the perfect life. That's the life that you're supposed to
And
have.
that's what society is doing. It's pushing that whole, okay, you come out of high school, you go to college, you get married,
I think
you
we're
have
beyond
kids.
that,
We're way behind that. But
Like
still,
beyond that.
but people still judge though. They judge that. It's like, oh, you're at this age and you should be married by now with kids. Or if you are, or if you have kids without being married, they look at you differently. You know, I've seen that still.
Old school people.
Yeah,
look
I
at
see-
you
I
different.
still
Them new
see
kids
that.
don't care.
No,
they don't care.
The millennial, I'll give you this. The millennials, the new age,
I think they're past millennials. There's something else now.
are they something
Generation, yo no sé
Yeah,
qué.
I don't know. Generation X or something?
I know we're X.
Oh, we're X.
They're a little odd.
Maybe they're Y. I don't
They're
know.
no, I shouldn't say that. They're not
XYZ.
odd. They're
They're
unique.
open.
They're
They're
very
open.
unique. They're very unique. They remind me. A lot of people make fun of them, but they remind me of the hippies from the '70s.
Mm-hmm.
Open minded, free. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Am
still
I
distracted
wrong?
like that.
Well, yeah, they are, but their train of thought is, and they've said this on the news. A lot of these kids nowadays, they don't want to. They don't want homes. You know, they're not quick to buy a home. They understand what a
That's
mortgage,
changing.
You know, things like that is changing. So I think there is positive in this. And now I've lost my train
You
of thought.
totally lost your train.
Yeah, I was like,
Times are changing, and they're changing in a good way. These things that have
Yeah.
kept our generation down, the things that we think about, the pressures of how we keep saying society and whatnot, those are slowly melting away, like the ice caps and the ice caps. They're slowly melting away.
Global warming.
But it is changing things.
That's
It's
what we're
changing
talking.
things because we can have conversations like this with people, and it matters. And every word, I don't believe in that. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me, because words have a lot of power.
Well, now, but you know, well, like I said,
Not now.
But back in the day when we were growing up, you know, that's what we were told.
That's what we knew. Yeah.
You know, to let that stuff go.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
Whatever you
Bounce
say.
off of me, sticks on you.
So you know, now with the
I'm sorry, it
you know,
sticks everywhere.
Yeah, just like I said, people just feel the pressure now. You know, social media stuff like that stuff put the pressure on them.
Filters, people think they're perfect.
to
but they're not.
be this and to be that, and when you're not this and when you're not that, then you look back, you start thinking back in your life, like, you know, I have people like, you know, in my life now, like friends are like, they're on like 21, they're like, bro, like, don't you feel like time is running out? Like, bro, you're 21.
Running out?
Like,
You barely put the batteries in.
You know what I mean?
You're running out.
Like 21, like people like 21, like
He's an Energizer bunny.
Like, I'm
for
running,
21.
like, like I don't have enough time, or like, you know, to do
That's
this.
another thing. I feel like that's a rush. Like when you're in high school, they always tell you, like, do you know what you want to be? Do you know what you want to study? I'm like, no. Like I at 18 didn't know what I wanted to study. Like, is that a problem?
I
Like,
think
didn't know what to
if
do.
I would have sat back and actually thought about it instead of getting pressured into it, I would have went to school for what I really wanted. instead of going to school for something I didn't want and then just bore myself out of it.
Well, and then,
I sat around a lot though and thought about it.
No, I didn't.
School
man.
for me was I always felt
a lot
like
of pressure.
I felt like school was really backwards because like how college is like we're gonna just focus on what you want to do.
Yeah.
High school was to me should have been like, okay, so what is it that you want to do, or what do you like to do?
Yeah.
And they have the classes for what you like to do, and you would go to class for what you like to do because essentially that's what you're going to go to college
In
for.
college, yeah.
But you guys do going to school for a bunch of classes that you're never going to use the rest of your life. Math, I get it because you got to count money. You got to count. That's just like reading. You got to count. Read. You got to read. You got to know history. In science, if I don't plan on doing anything with science, why am I taking science class? You know, health. I get it. You need to know about your health. So if science is gonna be your body and you know that stuff, I get it. You need to know about your body.
I don't know. I think science was more an expansion from math.
And
It was still equations.
Yep.
yeah, but it's just like that's what bothered me about school. Like me growing up, I just wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a comic book artist, and I wanted to just draw comic books or anime style, something like that. That's what I love. But when I went to art class, draw this picture of this sculpture or something like that. Bro, this has nothing with what I want to do with the rest of my life. If this is what I got to do to get to that, I don't want no part of it. You know, I just should be in school for what I want to do going up in life. Maybe more people would be going to do what they want to do if school would focus on what you want to do. You know,
give you that freedom.
I agree. No, but I agree also because actually earlier today at work we were talking about why do you have to do like 2 types of math when you go to college. All you need to do is get algebra, I think is the major thing, no algebra. And the second thing should be finances. Because nobody...
Credit.
Like, exactly. Like, nobody... Instead of having like a geometry or calculus or trigonometry, what the hell? You don't go there on a daily basis.
I just feel
but
like...
I would definitely have like a financial advisor class. Would be awesome. Don't do credit cards. Don't get in debt. If I had that crap, it would be awesome.
Nobody would be in debt.
I'm gonna build on that. I don't know if it's a financial class. I just think it would be a class on being a grown up, like teaching
life.
You like yes.
Oh yeah, we had that in health
late
class.
Fees, overdraft fees,
interest.
Or that whole class would have you had to carry the baby.
Health class.
Well, I mean, when I was in middle school, I even had a cooking class.
That's old school.
What is it called? Is that co-ed or
something?
What is it called?
You
It
fancy?
was home economics.
Home ec.
Phillips, who barely got the egg.
But I mean,
jeez, I went to a private school. I didn't have that.
With things that would help you in life, you know, things that teach you like, hey,
Day-to-day
you
stuff.
grow up and you want to get into a rental, this is what you're going to expect. When you get into a home, you're going to need to know what's a mortgage about. What you need to know about home insurance. And, you know, things that you're going to
escrow.
use in life.
Does that fall on the school though, or the parents?
That falls on school, bro.
You think?
I think
it falls on school because school should be. I mean, parents can only teach you what they've experienced, and the parents first thing parents can say, "Don't get a credit card."
Yeah, they're gonna say
that's all they're gonna say. Don't get a credit card. But if you're taught why to not to get a credit card, or
why or how to
use one, or you know,
I see that.
Then it'd be that's the school. All parents are gonna say, don't get one, or don't do this, or don't do that.
I get your point. Yes, it should stem from the house. I unfortunately, my dad stepped away when I was in high school. Like when I started high school, I didn't learn jack squat. Like oil change. Tom showed me how to do oil change.
Get his some. That's when I go to Kia and I tell them the numbers are up.
And they have. I know they have classes in high school for that. They got auto mechanics and all that, but I never took that. And I wish I would have had a male voice to say, like my dad, like, hey, you might want to take that course because it'll help you in life. Hey, you might want to take this course. I didn't have something when I was selecting my courses in there. I was just looking at where can I get that easy credit A.
Because it's always
girls.
You know, it's funny to me.
I mean, I guess it should stem from the home first.
But it's funny to me how they're like college would get you ready for life. The college teach me how
College
to.
does not get you ready
The
for
college
that,
teach
so.
me how to change my oils because I definitely don't get. I had to learn from my uncle. He had to teach me how to do it.
College teaches you how to get in debt.
And I
Student loans.
Teaches you college for me was social skills and learning how to be a person on
Yeah.
my own, away from my
Parents,
family.
yeah.
Yeah, but like Ed was saying, like
Being
high school.
responsible, big time.
Yeah,
was
high
college.
school should have been that. Like those classes that make sense. And in the long run, you think about, God, I don't want to take this class. But when you get to your car and you need to get oil changed, or you don't have the money to do it, I can go do it myself. That makes
It's
perfect
cheaper
sense.
to do it yourself. Trust me.
It makes perfect sense for you to have that class. Or you need to cook something. You got all this stuff, but you don't know what to do.
Or maybe a class where it shows you not how to make major home improvements or things like that, but like, say, the lock on a door breaks. Hey, this is how you might want to change a lock on a door. Or let's say your toilet, the plumbing, something, little like little trades here and there.
Just gotta learn how to write a
Teachers
check.
just, like I said,
I was fortunate. My dad.
How you write a check?
They actually taught us how to do that in class.
I was very
Numbers,
fortunate
pin
that my dad taught me how to do those things. To be honest, and that was a blessing. My dad was blind, but he still taught me how to do those things.
So that's a good question, Louis. Should it come from school or should it come from the
School.
home?
I think it should come from both.
I think I say both because your parents should, you should maybe you start a dialogue at home about, this is a credit card. Or hey, when we go out to eat, this is how much it costs. This is you know what I'm saying, and then maybe expand on it in school. But my mom always said the same thing, like, oh, they should have taught you, and I'm like,
Well, yeah, I mean,
Can't
I
help
think it might be a
curriculum.
little stretch, man. I think as long as you know addition, subtraction, multiplication, and
And
division,
division, yeah.
you're
not.
good to go.
I can't say that because I'm in fashion,
Yeah.
and as much as I hate them numbers, I gotta use them every
Algebra-
single day to make
algebra
equations
takes care
and
of
to
that.
make
Yep.
this line go to here, and this has to be a certain for you. That's different from you. That's different from you. So I use it every day.
but if like that, if you told somebody you need this class because that's what you're going to do,
Yeah, I mean,
then
it would've made sense.
It made sense. But for me to draw,
Same thing in the kitchen, because in kitchen you're using.
But then at high school, do you know what you want to do?
Well, that's what my that's
Versus
what,
22,
that's where
25?
my initial point came from.
but see, like growing
I
up,
did it.
like you watch cartoons. Okay, like I said, me growing up, I read a lot of comic books when I was growing up. I knew what I wanted. This is what I wanted to do, And then I was like, as soon as I got into art class, I was so hyped to go into art class until I dealt with the teacher and told me I had to draw this and draw. I said, okay, when do we get to the
You can't
anime?
fit in that box.
When do we get to anime and stuff like that? We're not doing that here. Then what the f am I here for? They don't put that inside the box when you check in. Okay, what do you want it for? That's not a selection on there. So I figured, okay, well maybe she'll teach it eventually. It never happened. Then I had to move on to something else. I want to learn video games or design video games because I started getting into that. But at that point, then I was just like, I'm done, bro. I'm just ready to get out of here. At that point, I was just done with school.
Did
What's
it change?
funny is
It change your mindset?
Huh?
School was that the fact that she wasn't, or they weren't
Teaching
on
what I
your-
wanted,
yeah.
That changed my whole. But I still thought like I had to go to a different school just so I can get my diploma, bro. Because it was just regular class. It didn't go for anything I wanted to do. It was just so I can get my credits and get out. At that point I was done with school. I don't care. People like, why don't you just go back to school? I don't want to go back because they're not going to teach me what I want.
Yeah.
And and I don't want to be in debt.
That's the artist struggle though, because we, as an artist, you want to create, but there's certain things you have to learn to hone your craft.
Yeah.
But I don't need to know no Pythagorean theorem for what centimeters need to go on a sleeve, and you don't need to know certain things that for art. But that's kind of I guess where the disconnect was maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot. And plus, I was bullied in school, but that's another reason why I wanted to get the hell up out of there too. But like I said, that was just a huge turn off of school, man.
And the funny part is that to me, when I was young, Nintendo was huge, and the parents always said, "You need to turn that off. That's not going to get
It's
you
gonna rot
anywhere.
your brain."
It's not going to get you anywhere."
Nintendo, apaga
And then
Nintendo.
the other day I turned on the news, and I felt like the news is kind of making fun of it in some way, but they're like, "Oh, look, this kid, young 14-year-old won the Fortnite championship tournament and won $1 million off of
Yeah.
it,
Times are changing.
And times are changing,
Well, okay, the question is, because it's like the lotto, how much of that money, did he win that $1 million or did he win half of that $1 million?
Well, he got to pay
Taxes.
taxes.
It
He's probably got
depends on where
parents.
he won
Yeah.
it. It depends on where he won it. Because if he won it in California, if it was here in Florida, each state has its own
Tax bracket.
tax. So it depends. Like people that go to game shows, I've heard in California and stuff, like for Wheel of Fortune and things like that. A lot
They
of
get
times,
screwed.
those things that you win, a lot of people that win the cars, they just leave them there.
Yeah.
Because you win the car, but you got to pay the taxes on it. So people are like, it's just not worth taking the car. So
What's the point of being on the show then?
Right. They don't talk about that afterwards.
No, they don't.
no.
They shut him up.
Dum dum.
And that money, like in jeopardy.
Where are they
like,
now?
Oh, he won 25,000. He might not even take that whole 20. He might just be
He
going
get
with
he get
5.
6. Yeah. Bye. Gotta
So,
go. But I want to know. Excuse. Are you? Did you sign an NDA? You can't talk about it. What happened?
No,
I want to know,
Yeah.
no.
sir. Please.
But I mean, you know, like that whole video game thing. Like these kids are getting sponsored by companies now for
Yeah.
playing video games.
They are still not one in a million, but it takes a lot to get that kind of.
Society has changed. It's more technological now. It's sad because, as you guys know, if you go to a supermarket, a gas station, everything's technological. One quick thing, I went to Walmart the other day, and they've gotten rid of basically 70-80% of their cash registers with employees. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Mhm.
Self-pay.
Everything is self-checkout. is what they
Apple
call it.
Pay. Boop.
And this old man came up and he was talking to the lady. He's like, "There's nobody here." And the lady's like, "No, you got to self-checkout." And I felt bad because the older folks,
They don't know what to do.
they're so intimidated of technology that they won't do it. Like the guy left his groceries there because he did not want to use self-checkout.
Oh my God.
I seen a lady go to Walmart.
Why wouldn't she help him?
I went to because it's Walmart.
Because she wasn't.
Ay, pero pobrecita, it's still a
She
sale.
wasn't
if it was
taught.
public,
She
it'd
wasn't
be
taught that
different.
from the home. That's the problem. She wasn't taught that at
I've
home.
gone into a
Back.
Walmart and seen a lady discouraged from ordering a sandwich
Oh, on the touch
because
screen?
of the touch screen.
Oh, damn. Thank God Wawa is not a sponsor. No, I'm messing with you.
I'm not saying nothing bad about it.
No, I'm messing
I'm
with
just
you.
saying like it's
Yeah, because I
discouraging.
went to Taco Bell one day and they have the touchscreen and people were like waiting in line for the lady to come up.
Oh,
Like,
Taco Bell has a touchscreen?
yeah,
on?
one of my
that's
house.
awesome.
Yeah,
In Soto.
and the lady was like, "We
Nice.
do have a touchscreen. You don't have to stand here." And it was just like, "Really?"
Wow.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
But it-
Sometimes I want to
They
talk
want
to
more
a
money
real
an hour,
person.
though.
I probably
$15.
drifted so left with that.
You did, but it's
conversation.
okay.
Love.
It's just saying, like, what if I want to talk to a real person? You know, I don't want
Well,
to.
that's what you when you call the phones and it's those automated numbers like, "Hey, you can talk to me and tell me what's going on." No, I want to talk to a real person. Okay, but you gotta get past me to get to hell.
Exactly.
Like,
Well,
what the
tell me a
fuck?
little more about it.
Like, tell me what is your
Pick out of
reason?
these options.
Yes.
Like,
Does this
What type
describe
of person?
your problem?
operator?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry, cannot hear. I did not get that. What was that
Goodbye.
again?
Operator.
Goodbye.
We can't hear you now, so guess what? We're going up.
Operator, no! I've been waiting like 30 minutes.
Representative.
That's why I always hit 0.
Okay, I'll get you to
It's
representative.
0.
We are,
And then they keep going.
We're close to the.
Oh, yes.
We're running out of time.
Running out of time, but
So let's real quick.
hit the
Louis-
music.
No, I was
Bye, y'all.
Like, damn.
is it, go ahead and
Oh, yes.
everything.
Well, last minute.
Oh yes. So you guys can definitely follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
All Louis the Blonde, louistheblonde.com. Also, the Etsy page has all of my products on there, so you can see the heart, and that little heart can be a reminder to love yourself first, have that tough conversation. You matter, and give him a chance. That's what I always say.
Oh, we want to thank you for coming on the
Yes.
show.
Oh,
Definitely.
thank you guys for having me. It's been
Hopefully-
awesome talking about
Hopefully
this.
Get you
we were
on.
the last time.
No, exactly.
No.
Hopefully, bring you on again.
I appreciate it because I'm gonna look myself in the mirror.
You better. You better.
Driving the whole time.
Yeah, I'm in love with myself.
All right. Well, you guys can also hit us up on our social media. Our new email at gckipodcast@gmail.com.
Check us out at,
Yes,
at
Twitter.
Casually Kicking It on
Our-
Facebook, Instagram,
yeah.
Twitter. Our new email is ckipodcast@gmail.com. I think that's it.
Thank you guys.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
oh,
look, my
oh,
finger
oh.
hit the
Me,
music.
me, me, me.
Yay.
It's the remix.